And ladies and gentlemen, coming down to the ring now, we have Blake Reed.
And he's going one-on-one with my favorite wrestler, the Dinobot Spencer Wallace.
And ladies and gentlemen, there he is, the poster child for several pro-choice schools. The entire pro-choice movement, really, Dickie Wabash.
Of course, Blake Reed, this is not the first time we've seen him here tonight.
Blake Reed had a crucial part in the victory of one Cecil Cerveza earlier.
Blake Reed is battling against Spencer Wallace, but Spencer getting the better of him. Spoke too soon.
Those clubs, I don't even know what to call those. It's like a clothesline, but it's just the inner bicep connecting with your ear. That'll disorient you beyond belief.
Of course, as I said earlier, Dickie Wabash was in the building. So now, wait a minute, pin attempt. Only a one count. Dickie Wabash was in the building here tonight.
I bet Spencer Wallace wishes that he stayed down after that pin attempt.
This new attitude of Blake Reed, this newfound aggression, causing him to join the ranks of the Wabash Talent Agency, a group. Wait a second.
And there he is again. There's Dickie Wabash being his typical self.
But as I started to say, the Wabash Talent Agency, a group that Blake Reed has battled against for many, many years. Now he finds himself joining the ranks.
Looks like he's finally been swayed. You know, there's only two things in the world that can change a person. That's time and money. The funny thing about that is, in this situation, Dickie Wabash has both.
Of course, this particular matchup tonight brought to us by the wonderful people at SSC Services Inc. out of Mattoon, Illinois. SSC Services Inc. Excellence in service and professional workmanship.
John Stone. Excellence in shameless plugs.
I got to do what I got to do.
That pays the bills.
Now Blake Reed distracting the referee one more time, allowing Dickie Wabash to get his hands on Spencer Wallace.
And look at Dickie walking around like he's talking to Wallace. He's so proud of himself right now.
Of course he is. We heard what he said last week about the upcoming natural selection and how his team is undefeated at that particular event.
And in this situation, as much as I hate to admit it, Dickie Wabash is right. He is undefeated. He's got a reason to brag. Two count only. Spencer Wallace rolling his shoulder up just in the nick of time. Blake Reed, I'm loving the new attitude, I gotta be honest. He's got a can-do spirit. Blake Reed is a doer.
Of course you would love this new attitude, but Blake Reed, I cannot believe with my eyes still that we are seeing this. We saw the career that Blake Reed built up. We saw the many tag team championship runs he's had with both Travis Weir and Sourdough.
And there again, you mention his name again every single time I'm here, John Stone, whether it's the first half of the show, the second half of the show, whether Blake Reed's in the ring, whether Sourdough's in the ring, whether anyone is in the ring, you constantly bring that kid up. He is nothing. He is no one. And the fact that he stole my spotlight will forever enrage me to a degree that you can't even fathom. Listen, I'll tell you what, Sourdough, I'm going to make this real plain and simple. I know you're listening. I know you're watching. Sourdough, this is the end for you. I want you to understand that. I don't care what you've done up to this point. I don't care about your incredible heart. This is the end for you. You've crossed the wrong man. Every single time you've been in the ring with me, you've ended up bloody.
Wait a second! Blake Hole Slam! 2!
And that's not me being arrogant, Sourdough. That is a fact. If you think for 1 second that you're going to escape this, you are sorely mistaken, Sourdough. One way or another, mark my words, you and I will end up meeting very, very soon.
Oh, and he dropped him down.
That's got to be it.
An attempt. There it is.
That's it. It's academic.
Here's your winner, Blake Reed.
You know, I gotta say, Carrot, we've seen a lot of action.
Shut up, John Stone. And in the meantime, while you're shutting up, why don't we check out the Vintage Villains recap of the night?
Suplex from the second rope. Jimmy Carrot just hanging on there.
Matthew going for that superplex made famous by Cowboy Bob Orton. But Jimmy Carrot says, is this a sunset flip?
Could be going for that sunset flip. Power bomb. Wait a minute. He took Corona. This could be it. This could be it.
He won it. He got it. Aaron Matthews, John Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring now, the newcomer to UWC and its new talent initiative, this is Mark Vandy.
And of course, this match has been waited upon for many months. His opponent, Man Crush Monday, Jason V. Now this is a very interesting matchup we're getting ready to see here, and a matchup that was actually scheduled to take place a few months ago, but due to Mother Nature's hazardous winter conditions, Mark Vandy was not able to be here at the arena on that night to take part, but here we are, giving it to you, finally, much anticipated, Mark Vandy's debut here, and he's chosen the fabulous Jason V.
You know what, if there's anything that I can say about this company is that we always deliver on our promises. We promised you Jason V and Mark Vandy, and here it is. Better late than never, I suppose.
It appears the Yes Movement has found its way to the United Wrestling Coalition here in Georgetown at the Battlezone.
You know, certain guys just look like certain guys, you know what I mean? And Mark Vandy, it's nothing he can do if he can't really help it, but he does look like Daniel Bryan.
Is it the beard?
I think it's the beard.
Yes.
I think that's why Bo Sawyer started trimming his.
Well, I don't know if he trimmed it if it was burned off by Harker Dirge.
He might have had to have kept it trimmed after that.
Of course, Jason V and his new surname, Man Crush Monday, Jason V.
Jason V, always one to seek having fun. You know what? If Jason V had any sense whatsoever, he would realize the sick game that he's trapped in. He would at least make an attempt to sever the shackles of oppression and move forward with his career. But no, he's trapped in the same endless circle, and he seems to be having fun with it. That's the sick part.
Mark Vandy on top of him, getting Jason V in the corner. Of course, Mark Vandy, a very celebrated and decorated athlete all throughout the professional wrestling scene. He's been to many different companies, many different promotions, debuting here tonight for UWC Online, and people have been talking about Mark Vandy for a lot.
People have been talking about Mark Vandy for a very long time, but in that situation, he left himself open, and Jason V is no stranger to pointing out weaknesses, pinpointing them, targeting them, and then exploiting them and taking them out.
It's been a few weeks since we've seen Jason V in action here at the Battlezone. Of course, the last time, we mentioned it earlier, UWC 6, he answered the call from the Muay Thai warrior Cobra and stepped into the ring against the man who he ended up losing to on that very same night.
He did end up losing to, and I'm trying to figure out where Cobra had the magic combination, whereas I didn't. But the single... Oh! Wrenching that arm wringer. It's got Mark Vandy, metaphorically, of course, on the ropes. Now Jason V literally in the ropes.
Vandy shoving him back into the corner. Referee Mike Underwood trying to get him out of there.
But nonetheless, I'm not going to dwell on my successes and my failures, both to Jason V. As it stands, we have a fantastic matchup going on right now, Johnston.
Just a standoff in the middle of the ring right now with Jason V and Mark Vandy, and this crowd seems to be 100% behind Man Crush Monday, Jason V.
Man Crush Monday. I like the fact that he's no longer the fabulous Jason V. He's kind of figured out a couple of things about himself, at least I hope.
Jason V pushes him off into the ropes there, waiting for him. Nice leapfrog attempt there. Mark Vandy steps out of the way. Jason V goes out of the way again. And now he's just back and forth into the ropes, back and forth. Crowd here chanting Olay. It's the running of the bulls if the bulls were named Mark Vandy.
I don't even know what to say to this, John Stone. I really don't.
Shoves him into the ropes one more time. Vandy is down on one knee.
Mark Vandy's equilibrium has been severely impaired. And yes, he is tired. Thank you, Jason V, for pointing out the obvious.
All I could say is, Mark Vandy, welcome to the world of Jason V.
The wacky world of V. Gonna give him a Georgetown welcome.
I don't like the sound of that.
Knock joke.
A knock joke.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Seriously?
Super kick. the floor! Mark Vandy, you should always know to look through the peephole before you open the door.
Jason V played him like a violin and then cut his strings.
A chant of super kick at the Battlezone. This young buck's got himself some talent.
He just yelled, "Come at me, bro." I think he's been having too many Twitter conversations with
nice.
Shawn Michaels.
On-track takeover into an arm wrench. Mark Vandy has no idea what's just happened in the last 5 minutes.
Mark, I don't even think I have an idea what just happened. I had nothing to say other than I was totally silent. I'm stunned that this individual fell for such a trick.
Vandy now fighting back to his feet.
I gotta be honest, I didn't even know where that one was going.
Oh, and there's an eye rake by Mark Vandy.
Jason V, vision impaired, now gonna look for, well, look, no pun intended, now gonna look for a way to find himself back on top of the situation. And these yes chants are bothering Vandy.
Oh, driving that shoulder right into the face. Referee Mike Underwood trying to tell Vandy, get him out of the corner.
He's admonishing him, he's trying to do his job.
Oh, and look at that, just scraping his face along that top rope.
Haven't seen that in a minute. Now Jason V's vision is incredibly impaired.
Jason V, a former UWC champion.
At my expense.
But it did happen.
It did happen.
Ooh. Vandy with them shots.
And we all know what's coming. This is not a fight you want to get into with Jason V.
Oh!
You do not want to trade chops with Jason V. Vandy, you're stepping into a world that you do not understand.
Oh, and he just starts clubbing him. He wasn't going for another chop until now. Oh, he blocked it.
And this is what I'm talking about.
Uh-oh, listen to this.
Here it comes.
Oh!
I believe Vandy has been wobble-legged.
He just... Crazy fans here in the Battlezone tonight.
The sad part about it is any of these women here in Georgetown, Illinois think they have a chance. That little kid, for those of you that didn't hear, because apparently we're not in a secure broadcast booth like I would have expected. We're in a tacky little shed.
No, you work with what you got.
You work with what you got, and the sad part about it is I have you and this little tiny shed. Apparently what just happened, some crazed young fan just walked up and said, "Someone thinks you're hot," looking directly at me. And while I know this to be true, I refuse to accept the fact that any of these Georgetown dilapidated idiots.
And Mark Vandy now just choking away at Jason V with that tape.
Referee never saw it. What did I tell you, Johnstone? I refuse to accept the fact that this 9-to-5 working class scum that is Georgetown, Illinois, is looking at me in such a fashion. I would much rather be held to a higher standard than that and thought of as simply an athlete.
Dragon Sleeper applied on Jason V.
Jason V trying to motivate himself using the crowd. It appears to be working.
He's grabbing him by the beard.
He's got the beard of Mark Vandy.
He's got the power of the beard. Oh, he says he's going to pull it off.
He's going to pull the beard.
Oh.
I think Vandy just made Jason V pull it on accident. That was an inadvertent.
Oh, and drops him down with a Polish hammer.
Something I haven't seen in a while, a Polish hammer.
Wait a minute, going for this move here. Oh, sent him down.
Cover.
2.
Correct me if I'm wrong, John Stone, but that was a hammerlock STO.
Yes, that was.
See, I know stuff.
Well, I would expect you to. You're a wrestler. If you didn't know that, then you're bad at your job.
John Stone, I'm going to give you 1. That's your 1.
Look at Jason V going for something. Mark Vandy comes up from behind. Look at the power into a gorilla press slam. Oh, he's trying to get him up there. Fireman's carry.
He's got it. He's got him.
Look at the power. Oh! And he dropped him down, hits the ropes. There's the warrior splash.
Cover, hook of the leg.
Keeps out of it. He hit the warrior combo, and Jason V kicked out.
Jason V had a brief rush of adrenaline, and since then has found himself back on the mat.
Mark Vandy hitting the moves of the recently deceased Ultimate Warrior. All of our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the Ultimate Warrior.
Rest his soul. So that's the funny thing about second wins. Sometimes they can be fickle, and Jason V just had one of those fickle second wins.
This could be a mistake on Mark Vandy's part, though.
This is definitely a mistake on Mark Vandy's part. We've seen Jason V do some amazing things diving from the inside to the floor, and Mark Vandy is giving him nothing but time. He needs to be in the ring, capitalizing on what he's just accomplished, regardless of his frustrations. That's right.
Remember, Vandy gets back in. Boot! Boot! Boot!
Look at the leg! And that's
there
it! See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. Mark Vandy should have been in the ring capitalizing on Jason V rather than letting his frustrations get the best of him. Jason V saw an opportunity, he seized it, and that's all she wrote.
And at the end of the night, it's a victory in the books for the Man Crush Monday, Jason V.
Dickie Wabash starter kit. I led his team to victory after he got pinned by Sean Douglas. If it wasn't for me, Carrot, your team would have lost. It's a fact, yeah. It's very true. The next year, Jason V decided he was going to put together a little team. Take on Team Dickie, and guess what? He got shut right up. 2-0. 2-0 at natural selection. Now that's coming up at the end of this month. And I came out here and I laid out the challenge for anyone, absolutely anybody, to construct a team to combat me. And I walked back there after said promo, and not a single person stepped up and accepted my challenge. So that tells me everyone back behind that curtain, they're just a bunch of cowards. Yeah, you all are starting to get it. Cheer me. I am good at what I do. What? No, Dickie. Oh, Dickie! What are you doing out here? Are you startled? Are you frightened? Did you have an accident? Do you need a bucket? I heard you say nobody had the guts to come out here and face the almighty Dixon Wabash.
Parker, my name is Dickie.
Yeah, we know, Dixon. They said nobody would come out here and face. You said they're all a bunch of cowards. Nobody would stand right here. Well, Harker Dirge is standing right here, right now. In front of... Oh! Stop it. Let's just stop that. Let's stop doing that. Let's stop it. Well, I guess mine it. And here I stand in front of the head of the Wabash Talent Agency. That makes you a sports agent, right? Yeah. Superstar, right? Yeah. Big time money maker, right? Yeah. Big time money, lots of money, right?
then why do you still do all your clothes shopping at Goodwill? Oh, I hadn't even started yet. So, you think it's a real good idea to challenge anybody to formulate a team to face the Wabash Talentless Agency and Natural Selection, right?
Parker, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I'm undefeated at Natural Selection.
Oh, yeah? I don't think they heard you say it again.
I said I'm undefeated at Natural Selection.
I don't know, I still don't think they heard you say it again. I'm undefeated at Natural Selection. Who cares? You think it's a good idea to come out here and spout off at the mouth, right? You're a real brain, a real mind, a real thinking individual, aren't you? Here's the way I envision your mind. Space. The final frontier. A lot of blank emptiness. Blackness, a whole lot of nothing, and every once in a while, so in this vast emptiness of your mind, space, every once in a while, this big shiny piece of space chunk goes floating by. And you grab onto it, and you love it, and hug it, and treat it real well, and call it a good idea. But what it really is somebody else's discarded garbage. Well, I like to be a little more calculating than that, a little more cerebral. Whereas you spout off at the mouth and say, whatever comes to mind. I've been sitting back there listening to you week after week. I've been watching through that monitor back there. You see that camera? There's a monitor right there. And I've been watching and listening. And I've come up with a good idea of my own. And I think maybe it's my turn to play sports agent around here. Maybe it's my turn to formulate a team. Oh, yeah? Yes. Well, all right. So why don't I throw my hat in the ring as the next greatest sports agent? Teams of 4-on-4, natural selection. I'm not going to lay all my cards out right now, but I'm going to tell you, I've already selected the first teammate on Team Harker Dirge, and he's somebody who's on the straight and narrow. He's somebody I didn't always see eye to eye with, but now I think he's pretty cool because he's doing the right things. He's making his life work, and he'll make my team work. I'm talking about who's sexy? Matthews. Teammate number 1. Very soon you will find out number 3 and number 4, and we will do one thing, and we will do it very, very well to the Wabash Talentless Agency. We will come through that curtain. We will come in like a wrecking ball and wreck you. Natural selection.
Parker Dirge, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. I'll see you at Natural Selection.
Honestly, I can't believe what I just heard here. The teams are set for this year's natural selection. It's the Wabash Talent Agency battling the team led by UWC heavyweight champion himself, Harker Dirge.
I'll tell you what, UWC champion Harker Dirge, as much as I really hate to admit it, has picked one hell of a tag team partner to go into natural selection. My former running buddy, Aaron Matthews, and I'm not really ashamed to say, pretty ashamed to say, he got the better of me on a couple of occasions, but you know what, beside the point, Harker Dirge has got a fantastic tag partner in Aaron Matthews, and now these teams are coming together. It's going to be Team Wabash versus Team Harker.
And of course, let's not forget Team Wabash, already comprised of both Blake Reed and Cecil Cerveza, with Dickie Wabash leading the charge on the outside of the ring. And as we just said, Team Harker Dirge, first member Harker Dirge, second member Aaron Matthews. And speaking of your old running buddy,
Speaking of,
let's take you down to the ring and tonight's main event.
and ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring now for our main event of this evening, Zero Hype, Guy Smith.
And of course, his opponent, the man picked to be the first member of Team Harker Dirge at Natural Selection, Aaron Matthews. We've got our big main event up here right now. It's 260-pound Zero Hype Guy Smith taking on the man who was just announced as the first member of Team Harker, Aaron Matthews.
You know, I wonder if Aaron Matthews even knows that he's the first member of Team Dirge as of yet. I'm sure he does, but I bet it came as much of a surprise to him as it did to all of us.
Aaron Matthews successfully returned here to the United Wrestling Coalition last week. Of course, I've been saying it all night about different guys. Aaron Matthews, another man that you know very well.
Very, very well. Aaron Matthews and I have worked in very close association in recent memory. If you recall, John Stone, the single most important thing to remember about this whole situation is that at the end result, whether or not whoever, it doesn't matter who was victorious in the end result. I taught Aaron Matthews a very valuable lesson.
And of course, just for record's sake, it was Aaron Matthews.
Shut up,
that was
John
victorious.
Stone, shut up!
I'm just stating public fact. I'm sorry.
If it's so public knowledge, then the public can decide for themselves. The public can see it for themselves. Aaron Matthews a little bit quicker than Guy Smith. Guy Smith is frustrated right out the gate, and he can't let this crowd get to him.
Of course, this is a matchup of speed and agility battling power and strength.
Yep.
And so far...
And that's exactly what Aaron can't let happen.
Look at that huge forearm shot to the face, now clubbing blow to the back. It's moves like that that make Guy Smith the dominant force in this matchup. Oh, and he tried to
Aaron
land
lands on his feet.
Oh, sends him over to the zone. Very nice. And Guy Smith fails to the outside.
Guy Smith wisely, he felt that Aaron Matthews was catching momentum, and he took a breather.
Crowd here definitely in favor of the man who believes to be constantly sexy, Aaron Matthews.
Yeah, the crowd can be in favor of whoever they want. It's not going to have an effect on the outcome of this match. Unless Guy Smith lets it. I'm telling you, he's letting the crowd get to him way too much.
Oh, and there's a stomp to the midsection and a clubbing blow to the back.
Now, I can't say it's necessarily fair, but it's not necessarily a cheap shot either. Guy Smith is very, very careful about what he does in the ring. He is a tactician at its finest.
Went for that third time to the top turnbuckle. Aaron countered and sent Guy Smith in. Oh, nice shot to the face. Punches right to the face.
Guy Smith in the corner. Aaron setting up for something.
Goes for that splash.
I honestly thought Guy Smith was going to catch him.
Boot right to the face, sends Guy Smith down. The sexy fist drop.
Gotta say, I love the fact that all of Aaron Matthews' moveset, his entire arsenal can be called by adding the word sexy in front of the actual move name.
Oh! And there's 260 pounds colliding in the corner.
Nothing necessarily sexy about that lariat, but it was effective to say the very least.
Aaron Matthews counters out of it once again. The speed of Aaron Matthews is winning over in this match so far.
Thus far, Aaron Matthews has got a really solid game plan. I have this funny feeling, however, that it may be about to come to an end.
Kick to the midsection
There's
there by Guy
a little bit of a miscommunication going on in Aaron's own head, I believe.
Locks it into the turnbuckle and sends Guy Smith in head first. Oh, drop toe hold to that second turnbuckle. Shot to the face once again.
And this crowd is absolutely loving the fact that Aaron Matthews is a straight brawler. He has no finesse on him whatsoever. Unless you're talking about this right here, Aaron perched up top.
Heading to the comfort zone. Jump
flying forearm. beautifully executed.
Guy Smith is down. He needs to go for the pin attempt here, which he does.
There he goes. Hook of the leg.
2.
Oh. Guy Smith barely rolling the shoulder up before the count of 3. Aaron Matthews almost pulled out what would have to be considered a huge upset.
What a night this would be for Aaron Matthews, first being announced as the first member of Team Harker Dirge at Natural Selection, then the opportunity to gain a victory over this 260-pound monster. But Guy Smith picks him up. Look at the power. Snake Eyes. Oh, sends him down.
He almost went straight over the top rope into the post. And I think that's what Guy Smith was aiming for, to be quite honest. That would have been devastating.
Oh, looks like he's going to go for it one more time.
And not just to the match, to Aaron's career.
There he goes. Oh! Oh, and a huge clubbing lariat.
Vicious. Absolutely vicious. This crowd has grown awkwardly silent. I think Aaron Matthews may be seriously injured.
And look at that. That showcases right there. It took a whole buttload of moves, if you will, from Aaron Matthews just to try and stagger and knock down Guy Smith. But it only took 3 or 4 shots for Guy Smith to drop Aaron Matthews and stall any momentum he had.
It's the power game versus perfect, picture perfect, textbook suplex, hook of the leg.
2.
Lateral press, no hook of the leg, excuse me. Aaron kicks out just before the count of 3. Nothing fancy about that. That one spoke for itself. But see, this is the classic example. Speed versus power. Aaron Matthews had the advantage as long as he could stay out of Guy Smith's grasp. But eventually, as long as Guy Smith's got enough cardiovascular conditioning, Aaron's going to wear himself out before Guy Smith will.
Chin
especially running 1 million miles an hour. Yes, perfect chin lock applied.
Oh my gosh, did you see the torso of Aaron Matthews?
The angle that Aaron's back was at was just downright sickening. And a headbutt to the lower abdomen, not exactly something that you'd expect to see out of Guy Smith. An unorthodox move, but effective nonetheless.
Back to that chin lock.
And see, this is the mark of a great wrestler and even a great champion. Going back to the hold that brought you to the dance, going back to what has given you success. Guy Smith has kept Aaron grounded for the duration of the period of time that he has had that chin lock on, and he locks it right back in the second he gets the opportunity.
Of course, Guy Smith, the man who proclaims himself to be zero hype, loves to utilize that belly-to-belly suplex. He's defeated many an opponent with that maneuver.
I'll tell you what, John Stone, that belly-to-belly suplex is literally just about weight. It's about momentum and it's about weight. Once Guy Smith gets your momentum going and then he comes down with the duration or the entirety of his weight across your torso, you can't possibly catch your breath. That's why Guy Smith is using that move, is because he has such a weight advantage over most rosters.
Oh, deep hip toss.
Deep hip toss, very pretty.
Driving the forearm across the throat area, 2.
Aaron barely got the shoulder up. I think if Guy Smith applies his full weight advantage, this one's over. I'm not saying that Guy Smith is just playing with Aaron Matthews, don't get me wrong. Everyone is trying to win at all points and times during the match, especially Guy Smith. However, I think that once the time comes, after Aaron's been worn down enough, if that full weight advantage is applied, Aaron's not going to have anything left to kick out.
What a night we've had here tonight so far. I mean, this is our main event. We've had a night filled with superstars who've never competed against each other before, all in action.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic card from top to bottom, I'll be honest, and this match is definitely no exception. I'm just excited. I'm excited for the conclusion of the show, not because it'll be over, but to see what happens next.
Aaron Matthews trying to fight back, ducks under the lariat there. Look at the power, lifts him up. Spinning power slam.
That was a beautiful tilt-a-whirl power slam, hook of the leg. 2 count, Aaron kicks out.
Wait a minute, Aaron Matthews might be trying to get a second wind. I'm not sure after that huge power slam.
I'm not sure how he can have anything left. I thought he was going for a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, turned it into a very impressive power slam.
Stops the offense on Aaron Matthews, sends him into the corner. Oh, and drops him down. 2.
And there, I thought that was it. I really did. After that, it was a combination back suplex into a sit-out powerbomb. It was absolutely beautiful. I did not think that Aaron was going to have anything left to kick out. But then again, I guess technically it wouldn't be the first time I've underestimated Aaron Matthews, now would it?
No, it would not indeed.
Aaron landing on his feet.
Ducks underneath the lariat. Jumping up to that top rope. Guy catches him.
Moonsault!
Moonsault on the top. Pin attempt. There it is!
Aaron Matthews with a huge upset off the moonsault press on Guy Smith.
Aaron Matthews pulls can't believe it. I think I understand now why Harker chose him as #1 for his team.
I think Harker made a very, very wise decision. As much as it pains me to say this, Aaron Matthews caught Guy Smith in a perfect compromise position with that moonsault press.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you had fun tonight. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you for watching out there in YouTube land, and we will see you on the next UWC Online.
Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy Carrot, out.
Can't believe it! Ah! Lucky little nothing! Ah! Ah!
Excuse me. Guy Smith, I see you're
Now
very
is not
angry.
the time.
No, now is the time. I have an offer for you. I saw what just happened with Aaron Matthews. You want another shot at it? I can get you that shot. You want it?